One of the most polarizing figures in America has died. We learned just after 10:30 this morning O.J. Simpson is dead at the age of 76. You know him as the former football great who was accused and ultimately acquitted of the brutal 94 murders of his ex-wife and her friend. Last May, Simpson posted a video to Twitter revealing he had cancer and was undergoing chemo, adding then that it looked like he'd beat it. Simpson never specified the nature of the cancer. This morning, his family wrote he was surrounded by his children and grandchildren, and during this time of transition, his family asks that you please respect their wishes for privacy and grace. More on O.J.'s passing coming up in our 12:30 half hour.
This is perhaps one of the most manipulative moves that this board has made.
As you can see, frustration and fury last night as JCPS board members voted to cut transportation for thousands of Louisville students. In a 4-3 vote, that board passed a plan which cuts busing for all magnet and traditional schools with a few exceptions. Our Connor Steffen was at last night's meeting where public comments weren't on the agenda, but that didn't stop the crowd from sharing what's on their mind.
During a special JCPS board meeting laced with interruptions.
This is perhaps one of the most manipulative moves that this board has made.
Stormouts. And board infighting.
I can ask my questions.
I'm the board
please.
chair. I'm
Thank
running
you.
the meeting, Ms. McIntosh. Thank you.
But it's not your turn.
Board members passed option 2 of the district's transportation plan in a 4-3 vote.
I wish we could do every school, but we're just so short on our folks right now, and in every rural area, it's just not feasible.
Under option 2, JCPS will cut transportation to all magnet and traditional schools in the district, except high schools where 75% or more of students qualify for free and reduced lunches, including Central and Western high schools.
I hated making this, and any part of this decision. It absolutely crushed me. I mean, this was by far the hardest of my 7 years.
JCPS says it evaluated 16 different transportation plans. Those who support Wednesday's vote say without any transportation changes, Black and brown students will continue to be disproportionately impacted under the district's current setup.
Personally, I cannot sit on this vote any longer knowing that we're depriving 30,000 kids of instructional time.
Those opposed worry option 2 will inadvertently resegregate a large swath of Louisville's public schools.
But the community has to have buy-in for what we push forward to, because we're already fractured enough.
The plan still looks to cut transportation for some 14,000 JCPS students.
This just feels like an outcome that is going to provide the lack of education, of quality education, that these schools provide and afford children who may not have this opportunity.
With a transportation plan officially underway for next year, some are left wondering at what cost. In Louisville, Connor Steffen, WHAS11 on your side.
Now, one of the schools that will continue to have transportation is Central High School. Keyshawn Johnson is a junior there and told us while he is relieved his school will not experience any changes, he's very much concerned for other students at other schools that will.
It's bigger than us. Although that we will be able to get back and forth from our school, it's bigger than us. There's people that don't have the access. They feel safe at that school specifically. It's a reason that they go to that school. But now that they don't have transportation, they have to restart and build that new, they have to build those connections.
Other community members voiced their frustrations following last night's vote, including Monica Thomas, who said she is upset the board came to a decision without much community input. She told us she still has unanswered questions as to how this new plan will impact families.
They were talking about handing out stipends, so I want to know if that's still on the table for those families who are going to be disenfranchised with this vote tonight.
The board's next public meeting is slated for Tuesday. And to help address the bus driver shortage, JCPS will continue having bus driver blitz hiring events. The next one is on Saturday from 9 to 2 at the Hilton Garden Inn on Crittenden Drive. Meanwhile, leaders of the NAACP want Superintendent Dr. Marty Polio to resign.
If you're not going to provide transportation to those magnet schools, what you're basically saying is all kids in our community do not get the opportunity to go to some of the best schools in our district.
Polio responded saying making tough decisions like this one is never easy.
I care about this district. I've been here for 29 years. I respect the NAACP. I do. I've worked with them. So, you know, it is just a decision that there are no good options for, and I wish I didn't have to make. Wish we could do every school, but we're just so short on our folks right now, and in every rural area, it's just not feasible.
To see other options the district was weighing in on, you can read about them more in depth on WHAS11.com. New here at noon, the 2nd Street Bridge will undergo a temporary closure tomorrow before fully reopening both sides, hopefully for that evening commute. Tomorrow afternoon from 2:30 until 5, the bridge will close so crews can remove their traffic control measures and restripe the roadway. You may remember the original reason for its closure is due to that crash on March 1st that sent a semi over the edge, damaging some of the concrete. Officials say the repair project is on track to be finished about a week ahead of schedule, which should help avoid disruptions to the city's preparations for thunder over Louisville. Jamarcus Glover, a key figure in the Breonna Taylor death investigation, will be behind bars longer than originally expected. He was in court yesterday for a revocation hearing. Glover was on probation until he was recently arrested for multiple drug-related charges. And last month, the judge sentenced him to 7 years in prison for the charges dating back to July of 2020. Well, yesterday, the judge added another year on top of that for violating his parole. Glover is still facing more drug-related charges and is expected back in court in May. Police were executing a warrant for him the night Breonna Taylor was killed. The mother accused of killing her 5-year-old child and hiding him in a suitcase in Washington County, Indiana, will undergo a court-ordered mental evaluation. It'll determine Dejon Anderson's competency to stand trial. Anderson faces several charges, including murder and neglect of a child. She went on the run for nearly 2 years after her son, Cairo Jordan, was found in that suitcase. During that time, Anderson claims she was under surveillance by the NSA for several months, with the Space Force also tracking her movements. She was arrested in California last month and extradited to Indiana. The Louisville Fire Department is asking for your help after a Boost mobile store was set on fire in the Newburgh neighborhood. Investigators said it happened around 1:30 Sunday afternoon at that store on Preston Highway. Take a good look at those photos. LFD believes the fire was intentionally set and that this man could be the person responsible. He was last seen wearing a hat and orange book bag. If you know who this man is or have any information that could lead to an arrest, you are asked to call the Louisville Metro Arson Bureau. Take a look. The number there is on your screen, 574-3721. You can also call the LMPD tip line at 574-LMPD.